That's all. Okay, we've got a lot of people who haven't been to this site before. Obviously, Vlad's class is pretty popular, or Vlad as I call him today, apparently on Facebook. It's pretty popular, so this is about the fullest it's ever been. We're going to have to keep the music down because I'm live streaming when he's teaching, and I want to make sure we can hear everything. If you need to use the restroom, walk through the bar into the second door on your left. On the bar there is a water pitcher with glasses. Behind the bar is an ice maker off to the left if you want to add some ice. Obviously, if you have any questions, let me know. But there are 4 cats in the house, and I would like there to be 4 cats when we finish.
So funny.
That one is actually funny. I would there like the set of cats in the house to still contain the current 4 cats. So leaving the door unlocked would make me very, very unhappy. Because of the nature of the class, I guess Vlad says after a while, the thought process for him is going to be to take people out in smaller groups out into the lot to work with people. But I'm going to just change the gears to him, and as soon as I hit record, I'd like to do a brief intro of hi, I'm Vlad. And then,
Did you get that?
yes.
Oh, sure, I record that.
So yeah, I'll record hi, he's Vlad. But anyway, thank you all for coming. And if we continue to treat my house nicely, my wife will continue to let me hold things like this.
Then I will treat your house as nicely as you treated your apartment in the old days.
I'm through.
So I am Vlad from Atlanta. I will say Duke only in the sense that I've won crown twice before. So that's sort of what I'm trying to pass along to someone from my love of Polearm, since I did it enough to actually win a crown. It's done good. It's hard. I know up here and a lot of other places, spear dueling with polearms is very popular. I hate it. I can do it, and if I see somebody who I know is really, really good at close and work, I will spear them because I want to win. What I want to show you today is more along the lines of how to move behind your weapon, how to stay safe behind your weapon, how to close with your weapon, and how to get inside those spear tips and then kill them with the core and injuries and kill them. Like it's what you know about the hand face and get it all over. I switch left and right a lot. I'm primarily, actually, my dominant hand is right, but thanks to Tim and my formative years, I actually play polearm dominantly left. The first thing I want to talk about that though is my marvel Sir Felix is my crash test dummy. Sir Felix is walking out left hand high. We're both right now left hand high. What dummy this way now? What this is the big difference is being the same as in the right hand and left hand sword shield fight. If we are both the same hand high, he has 6 foot of weapon, mine, between his blade and my handgun. He has no real open shot he can get right off the bat.
Call Vlad. I'm an idiot, and since we're only 2 minutes in, I'm going to redo this. That was recording, not live streaming. Can you just start over again? You're going to do the introduction all over again.
By the way, I do get to the back of the dad.
That's why I was doing so much. That's why.
Well, okay, I think you had it set up.
Is somebody more technically savvy than me and can tell me how to set this up to live stream?
That is not me.
Okay, you got it.
Do we have any IT professionals? IT professionals? Anywhere we have
All right. Take 2. You ready for that one? 3, 2, 1.
Hello. I am Vlad from Atlanta. Again, I'm going to repeat this. I use the title Duke in this context today only because I have won crown in Atlanta twice before. This is not an easy task to do. I do not recommend it. It's a much easier path to more weird. But it has taught me a lot about how to use it, and it has really formative of my love for this weapon that I was able to accomplish that task. It's sort of the end of it for me that I was able to do. Polearm is a wonderful weapon, but it has a lot of disadvantages. What I really want to talk to you about today is a lot of polearm fights that you see are going to fight effectively 6.5 foot spear. They want to poke you. They want to run away throwing, we call it fly fishing. I point out there and move it around. I personally hate that. I believe in using a polearm the way they did it in the period, which is smash the person in the head and play ball. I find it more fun, more satisfying, more interesting to watch for everybody. So I hope today to be able to show you some ways to use your weapon in a defensive manner to close against those guys who want to put their point in your face, and then how you can club them once you got them. Sort of the first thing I want to demonstrate with my crash test dummies, really, is the difference in how handing works in pole. We all know that if you're a right-handed sword and shieldman and you're fighting another right-handed sword and shieldman, there's a stick and shield involved. If you're left-handed fighting right-handed, there is no shield. The shield is now conveniently off to the side. Your opponent's are much more open. Same works in polearm. Sir Felix and I are both now left-hand high. I rate dominance in a fight by which hand is the high hand. So left-hand high, which is less common. Normally you can see people right-hand high, but that's the dominant hand. Right now, in order for Felix to hit me, he has to pass through 6 feet of my weapon. Anywhere from my head to my knee, I have a weapon between his blade and my body parts. So there's no opening blow that he's immediately going to kill me with a slash. If we have opposite hand highs, in this configuration, Sir Felix can hit me in the head from the get-go, and I can hit him in the arm down to his leg, right off the bat. We are much more open. We are much more vulnerable. This is something to take into account. I have won many, many champions fighting polearm because I'm left-handed and they're right-handed, and I take their arm and then they call way out. So when you walk up to an opponent, be very cognizant of where their hand is. Because here, if we are offset, my block is only 1.5 inches compared to 6.5 feet. I have to be much more prepared if you throw it, snap that weapon offline, or move my head offline, or do something. I can't just stand it. He can hit me if I do nothing. When we get thrusts involved, even if we're opposite or handed, there's a thrust can always score. There's always a line that's going to go to the point, no matter which dominant hand you both have. Is it usually hip, or head? This is fine enough, because what we're doing is we're seeing that he has 2 spots he's going to want to hit with thrust. He's either going to want to hit me right in the nose, or he's going to want to hit me in the hip. I'm going to close the distance by allowing him to do that. I'm going to poke up here, play with him. He's probably going to throw at the hip. A lot of guys do, because there's this nice sticky spot. If you're going to thrust a person, do not thrust them in the leg. I have rounded leather, which means you stand a chance of sticking. Felix has steel. Anybody have creased steel that comes to a point? You ever see somebody that has steel that comes to an edge? You will never land a thrust. Aim on that. I don't care how hard you hit. It will branch off every freaking time. If you want to land a thrust against the guy who has this crease that extends all the way up the steel, you have to wait till their leg turns up and do it. Or if they're stupid, you do it. But most likely here. So I know that a lot of people, I'm guarding my face. I'm going to point up towards this point. I'm leaving that there. I'm just going to stay. That's all I have to do to sweep that whole head. I'm past this point now. I'm in full control. If he tries to back up, I can easily step in, keep the contact. Until I am happy enough. No one in the world, not even Maynard, can run backwards faster than you can run forwards. Human body ain't designed that way. If you're really big, some quick guy might be able to run backwards. Yeah, you'll still get a swing as soon as you leave, throw his head. Better yet is if I'm here, I gain control of his weapon. So I can take his weapon away from him. I can throw at his head right now, but that's kind of an iffy proposition. I don't like throwing until I know my opponent's dead. My opponent is dead. He has nothing that's going to stop me from hitting him in the head right now. If he aims at my face and throws the thrust, the safety applies. I'm just going to step. Gain control on the inside. If he pulls back, I'm still going to step forward. I want to keep his pole outside my body line. I can't really wick it as well this way, but I can do this. His opponent is now dead. All I'm going to do is hammer him in the head. A lot of times, making that move is very gutsy. You're not sure. Because if I step in, I'll put referee longer one. It's a little less intimidating when I have a longer pole underneath this. So now he has a 7.5, 7? Yeah, 7.5. So he's got a good bit of distance on me. Weapon construction's about the same, speed's about the same, Felix is faster than I am. So I'm going to sit out here at range. He's probably not going to throw from this far. He will certainly throw from this far. But at this point, he's going to think about whether he wants to throw. Because he has to let go with the front hand to throw this far. If he misses, and I catch it, it's done if he lets go. If, by the way, you throw and miss, and he wakes it off, do not recover back on line. You'll be inside your point every single time. If you do that and you miss, recover back. You'll be walking into a slash and have to pay attention to it. Once your weapon is here, it's clear that he's running forward, you're coming back. That's your best option if you lose that weapon. If you lose that weapon, just let it go. He's already ripped it off to the side. If I am not confident taking that step in, which is not uncommon, it's kind of a committed blow, I can also choose to come down here and match him and just play with his weapon. I want to keep physical contact on his weapon at all times. At this point, we're now sort of sticky weapon. I don't know if any of you have ever done sticky hands. Sticky hands means if I put too much pressure, he slips it and thrusts it. If he's too light, I throw it aside and hit him. I am not trying to kill Felix at this point. Because he wants to thrust me, he has a longer weapon. I am only caring about killing that. I want to take that weapon. At this point, I'm now in my range, he's not in his. He has one option, which is the back edge, trying to come over. But I'm still getting happy having to enjoy this position. Because I'm closer now. You don't have to kill your opponent if they want to spear you. Just kill his weapon. I can do the same with a much shorter one. He has it. Okay. He has very, very dominant position now in terms of this fight is not going to occur at long range. Or it won't be a fight, it will be a bloody massacre. So I'm going to come in here. If you don't have a punch like number 4, put one on. There's no downside. So I'm going to match him down here, but I don't want to get into a thrusting game. The minute he lets me touch his weapon, I'm going to close. Okay, no, Tim, move that closer to that. You can use that. Moving that a little bit. Yeah, but it might be easier to get him out of the chair for someone to use the first. So I am not looking to get a clear line to thrust. I'm looking to get solid contact on that weapon. And I'm probably going to cheat up my leg. This is where so I can step big and try to keep solid contact on that weapon. I want to drive the point of the ground as much as I can. And get to the range I want to. At this point, things get ugly. He has options, but things are ugly for him. And I am now within my speed. This weapon's going to be much, much faster. Sorry, camera. So if I get here and down, I'm much happier in my range than he is in his. From here I can slash up. That's probably what I'm easily going to do, is slash up and see the counter. Because his counter is to raise his weapon. Do that. So I slash up to this. If I had a butt spike at this point, I'd be hitting him with a belt. If I force my rubber blood, this is total. This is total light bill. See what everything means? I know how to make weapons. Because the butt spikes are the second grade buddy. Is if we actually get close enough that I can tie him up and I have less, I'm going to put my butt spike right here. Because he can't do squat at this point to stop me to throw a ball. It is impossible for him to throw a ball. He can try to bring his butt spike up, but this weapon is 7.5 feet long. I don't care. By the time he does that, I'm going to hit him in the head. So, part of what I want to go over today, again, is this idea that at every time you're somewhat open. So I want to use that to my advantage. I want to stay behind my weapon. So, even if he doesn't want to thrust, and he wants to slash long range, throw a slash a little right. Now, do the same thing. Slash back at me. Offside slash. Okay. Do this. So, if we throw here, bang, we're blocked. Step back and throw your onside. Step back and throw your offside. See how my leg's always at his head? This is not quite mine. I am moving behind my weapon and staying in guard every time I throw. This is a very simple drill. You can see it's not really touching my weapon. Each time I'm stepping, each time he's stepping, okay? The idea is if any one of us makes a mistake, they're going to get hit. Now we're closer together, it's obviously some distance. That is a very nice little training tool. Just do this little step of bang, bang, moving behind. Every blow is with your head. You're not moving your arms much. I'm basically just swinging my backhand to the ground. The way I fight polearm is to try to minimize the motion with the dominant upper hand. I first want to avoid blow, down slash, by not aiming it. Costs me nothing, may gain me an advantage, may allow me to disengage if I don't like it. Blocking with my feet is the first best example. So here, the second way is to block with my hips. All I'm doing is rotating my hips into it. From here, I can throw blows out. I have cocked the blow. This hip is now back, ready to throw back into my opponent. This is a fine choice. The last option I want to do is this. If I move my hands, I have nothing left. I have no blow from here. My hands are away from my hands. At this point, I leave, because he has forced me to do something. Generally, what's going to happen is I get faked. I'm coming over here to block. He's coming back to the leg. I move my arms over to block. I much prefer blocking out with my hips because I can throw back from it in various forms. So when you use that idea, block with the biggest motion first, hip second, hands as the last possible resort. If you screw up one of those, you still have the rest of the chain to cover your mistake. Once you move your hands, you change the dot. The other part of that is, as I said, I move this hand very early. This is my guiding hand. This hand directs the weapon. It doesn't have to generate any power. Because all it needs to do is make sure my blade, this is I think I got a shield on right now. So, all I need for my dominant hand is get that blade right where I want it. Can't generate a lot of power, I can't maneuver. Back in my younger days, if somebody let their shield extend that much, I was actually good enough to throw, pop this hand up, and drop it behind the shield. So they'd have to block up, they still hit it. Because this hand is loose and relaxed. Like, now, where's power come from? Obviously, there's only one hand left in the equation. The lower hand is always the power center. This hand's not going to move. This hand, pulling back is a snap. Connected to the hip gives even more. You can throw a tremendous amount of power using your human hips. That's all the power you're ever going to need. So that lets you stay kind of light and loose with this hand down here. That's why oftentimes if you watch me fight, this hand's really happy with my hip. It really wants to be close to my hip. If I do that swing block, press here, or throw there for that, I'm still keeping my elbow close to my hip. Because at this point, that's a throw. Any questions? The guy along besides the guy who doesn't have a weapon. You're nice, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, go ahead.
So, when you threw and you got him offline, you switched the top back in his head.
Yeah.
Are you rolling the hands or?
I'm keeping the blade on one, which I'm able to keep. Remember, I have the back edge off.
Right.
So, are you talking when I'm here?
Yes.
I am not twisting my hand. I'm simply coming straight up.
Okay.
I oftentimes will aim for the shoulder because the reaction for them is to raise the weapon and something that'll usually give me just enough minutes to hit the head instead. They don't. I'll tell you what, that's the wrong defense.
What if your mind was further up in the air or
Up here?
Up in, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to twist my hand this one.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is throw the next, okay, I'm stepped here. I'm in this part of the triangle, right? So the next move is this one. So all I'm gonna do is from here, I don't care about his blow, I'm just gonna lead into it. I'm just coming on it hard and fast in the net. That also works if you're off-handed, if we're here and I'm above it, I can push on this weapon, wait for him to push back instead of behind it. Because what happens is if you raise the weapon, you feel like you have a lot of force right here. Stop it. You have a lot of force right here. But the minute I'm here, things change dramatically. So if he's trying to push me off and I step behind it, I'm inside where that power is coming. He's not moving me as much. I have a better chance to hit it. No. Too many Polearm shots in the head. Better defense. So, you asked about if I pin him down here, am I just going to throw it at the back of his head? And yes. The defense is not to raise the weapon. Again, I'm kind of happy at this point already, so I have an advantage in that his tip, this isn't going to go as far as fast. His tip is right there. Take this hand, flip it up. There's nothing there. I'd keep your hand on that. You might want it. No, yeah. So if I come here and throw up, I've got that block. Now all I'm going to do is this and reverse the position. So I come up, you do block again. Don't try to grab it. You go with the turn. Or the flex plate. So for those who don't have one, where do you work the flex plate? I use it a lot of sort of humans. I guess the Polearm, the primary places I'm going to use it. It says I'm going to get here, get you up high, tangle, bring my left leg up here. And at this point, I'm going to let you start pushing down. And it'll drive right in. You can't aim for the face. The problem with the face is then I got to get his hand over here to get to the face. Whereas that's on me, little spot right there. That's the stick. You don't tend to have a lot of armor there. The other choice is if we get tangled low, so that can do this. But notice what I'm doing is I'm putting my whole body against the pole. I'm putting my whole body against the pole right here. Because I don't have a defense anymore, and he doesn't have a defense anymore. I'm going to butt spike him in the face, but I need not to be hit. The way I'm not hit is by not giving him room to throw. If I tried that from here, I might be seeing my dentist the next day. Those are the primary times that you can butt spike against other Polearms. It's mainly an inside tangle fight for butt spikes for me. If we're anybody who attended the Adult Swim, I tried to teach a class of new type fighting, and I will apologize because that's the first time I tried to teach that class, and I really should have had some people, victims, who I could practice it on before, because it didn't really gel in my head as I was saying it, so I sort of jumped around a bit. But if we're in tight, then oh yeah, I'll use a butt spike a lot. But I won't necessarily use it just as a weapon. In this case, we are opposite hand high, which is fairly common. I'm actually just going to do that with my butt spike. You like it? Now, there's a subtle trick in there. Nice subtle. What was the subtle trick?
Your hand, you kind of hook it with the shaft of your hand.
I opened my hand up. So, that's one of the reasons I'm not wearing gauntlets, so you can see the hands better. I open both of my hands up, and I'm holding my forearm only with my thumb. It's not on my thumb. This gives me the initial momentum to start it, because my butt spike is not going to hook. At this point, my butt spike is going to hook. I can let go and catch my butt spike. If they're opposite-handed, I've done this. Actually, I did it to Vlad, who's a Polearm, really, really good. But he'd never seen that technique before. If you do it fast enough, the Polearm ends up way over there. You can do similar stuff, obviously, because we're in Vlad. I don't have, like, obviously opening my hands is no longer relevant, but I can still do that. Or if I want to do the same thing, go back. Use your butt spike, take my butt spike. There we go. That's probably the wrong way. Okay. Take the butt spike, sweep up. There is no perfect flow. For everything, there is a counter. Oftentimes, you'll see silly stuff. It's a fairly famous kata in Japanese longsword to do the strike. You strike a foot where you step inside to block it, throw, the other guy steps inside and blocks. That's a straight up example of how a technique can roll into another technique. So you can end up in a position where, yeah, you both do the same thing, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what wins that is breaking the tempo, changing the plan before your opponent does. And understand having other options. But again, I'm talking mostly about anybody who wants insight or questions. My hope is after this to sort of give you a good overview. Given how crowded it is, anybody who wants some Polearm one-on-one, we're going to be outside for a while. And we'll rotate through like a couple, I'll take like 3 people out, fight for a bit, I'll come back and grab some water, grab some more people. So I want you to work through it. I know there's a lot of different levels of expertise here. Some of you have suffered at my hands at our local practice. Some of you have seen me before. Some of you I've never seen before, like back up.
I guess you're not going to write that down.
So going back to this, the thrust effects, because again, there are way too many guys who are going to be taller, going to be faster, going to be bigger, who are going to win a thrusting duel. Or they fight spirals. Like, if we duel Felix and I at this range, thrust, I would probably lose. He's very good with the spear. He's faster than anyone. He's the type of opponent I look at across the tournament and goes, this is not where this fight's going to happen. I'm going to do everything to put the fight there because I know I'm competitive. The best thing you can be as a polearmsman fighting in tournaments, less in war, more in tournaments, is to be able to pull different cards. To be able to say, he has rock. He's really, really good at rock. But I can pull paper. I may not be as good at paper as scissors, but my paper is better than his rock. So it's always good to learn different techniques. That's true of anything. Sword and shield wise, you can have a really solid style and encounter that one guy or lady whose style just perfectly exploits yours. And that can happen easily. So being able to draw a different card. As I came up as an unbelt in Atlanta, there was another guy who was an unbelt and got knighted before me who was really, really good with Polearm. And there was a lot of sort of going back and forth on which day each was better. But I realized that he liked to fight at one specific range, and he was really good at it and really fast. And from that day forward, we never fought a fight at that range. And I knocked him out of many tournaments. So, if I'm sitting here spearing at Felix, I'm really hesitant even to start any of these little games of hooking. You can hook here and try to spin with range, but if they're good, that could be tasty. So I want to bait him as best as I can to get it. So I'm going to move him offline knowing he wants to come back to center front. I've missed the block. That's fine, I'm close to the blade. So I'm going to roll up here, because coming up here, as soon as I'm here inside the blade, as soon as I come to here, I'm blocking my head. Because the only shot he has at that point is to snap me in the head. And I'm going to try to do that before he realizes he can snap me in the head. And then I'm going to come down and rock him away. So it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, as long as you think about, if I make a mistake, can I get out of that break? Can I get out of that situation? In terms of, does it make a difference which hand is dominant in the steer fight? Not really. Again, he still has the same two steer points. He's either going to hit you in the hip or hit you in the face. That's the only two spots. It doesn't matter if I'm here or here. The difference comes when I get the foul. And again, I can foul, it doesn't matter because I'm inside or outside. When I get the foul over here, or a step past over here, I just have to realize that we're now in a same-handed fight, or we're not in a same-handed fight. The only other recommendation that I would say is, if you notice every time I switch hands, I switch feet. So, seems a little obvious, but if you don't think about it, you do this, and you go to block your hip. Real embarrassing. I've never done that now. So always make sure you're leaving lines to move your weapon through. That's kind of the basic overview I had. I know Tim probably wants me to talk longer, but I'd rather work with you guys individually because, again, I think there's a fairly wide range. Anybody interested in doing outside work? Before we go outside, do we have questions? Yeah, well, any other questions? I would really like to fight. Watching you play work. Thank you. Well, the perk of that is, I was talking to he was fighting earlier, just to Marcus, and actually listen. If you put your hand to give yourself maximum amount of range on your thrust, way down by the butt spike, because you can do this. When you get close, and you have a big ass whoosh, because the shiny gets different. This is actually the worst case for you as a butt spike Polearm, because he has shiny gauntlets and a white butt spike. In the middle of the fight, sorry, trying to stay here. You put tape down when it was staying. In the middle of the fight, your opponent is not likely to see that as anything but you block with it in the face. So, A, you would better not to have white as much as you do. B, these face. Two reasons for that is differentiates where the butt spike is from where the hand is visually. Second, if you take that short. If I hold my butt spike right here and I get to here, so does low. I did not hit because my arm hits the shield. All I have to do is have that much of my butt spike come off, and even if he catches it on the shield, it's going to hit him in the face. The third perk I'm going to say is throw a very slow shot, slash at the top of my knee. If I step here, I catch it. If I have it all shaped up, I'm going to miss. Because you're going to try this at home, but you can't get your fist down to your knee without really fouling my motion. So you want to leave enough room to let you sweep your knee on your block, whatever your stance is. If you're really, really tall like I am, you may have to do more. If you have the advantage of being short, trying to make more, then you may have to do less. But separate your hand for those reasons on that butt spike. It's tempting to be here, and that's fine if you're in a duel or we're in a line in a battle. And I know I'm just thrusting for a while. But the minute I want to close, I'm going to step down. I'm going to change my grip as I close. You don't have to stay. I'm going to change my grip by clenching with this hand, sliding this hand, and then moving this hand. I speed it, and I can adjust my hands to whatever position I want on the move. So I'm going to start here, and I'm quickly going to switch to whatever guard I want. If you practice that, you'll make sure to get your hand up. Or many people, like this polearm has a little bit of a ridge, right, where I want my hand to be. Some people put a piece of tape there, grip tape, so they can feel when they're locked on the right spot. In terms of construction, the only thing I highly, highly recommend is belting your weapon. So you have a package. What's the next thing different? Yeah, it's not just ready. So, shake aside your hands so your hand sits in a nice knot. I rarely if ever throw flat. Because I know exactly where my blade is at all times, because it's indexed into my hand. If I grab, so if I close my eyes and spin this weapon around in my hand, I have no idea I'm actually flat. I have no idea where that edge is. In the middle of the fight, if I hit somebody and it recoils back, I have no idea where my edge is.
But, Vlad, it's a round polearm, so it compensates for bad technique because he's not sure where the edge is, but you know, polearm should look like polearm.
So you all hit money or something? By the way, the argument polearm should look like polearms, I fully agree with it. Anybody look at the picture of the Fury polearm? What does it have? A metal bar that goes down the front of the hat to keep it from getting cut and to keep the advantage of knowing where the edge is. It'll also lighten the polearm up, make it a little lighter. I would not, like, the rules vary by kingdom. Lancia has a period appearance. My weapons have to look like that. So I have a blade. FMR says you can have that. Use that table. You can have that. I still would not shave the rattan under the head. Whatever head you use, I would leave full width. Two reasons: A, it'll survive longer from impacts before you have to replace it. B, it'll throw weight forward. So your slashes will be a little nicer. Your thrust will be a little bit more wonkier because your tip heavy. That's easy to correct for, but you'll have a much easier time cut and slash. And again, remember you can slash front or back. So pin your foot over, that thing works. Walk through a line, kill this guy, step 5, hit the guy over here in the back, hit the guy over there in the side, step 5, all good. No reason not to have a two-sided pole. Even if somebody argues in period that this is the blade, it's not a pattern blade on the back, yeah, it's a steel bar on the back. It ain't gonna feel much effective. If you're wearing armor, I'd rather hit you with this back. Because I'm going to try to concuss you with your armor. This is cut. So it's equally fine either way. I like the hammers also. Hammers are kind of fun. The disadvantage of the hammers, they're harder to thrust than melee because the shield captures them much easier. People tend to punch out against the thrust, which they don't really do against the thrust way. You do have the perfect, yeah, you've got the shield capture. You wouldn't have to swear. No, I'm thank God.
I was like that.
Yeah, because I hate to think that
Mine is far away from here.
Yeah, I actually keep the pack house a little smart. If you fight, now, if he blocks, the hammerhead can still hit the helmet. Not likely that way. So a lot of people do fight with their weapons reversed, which is somewhat silly, but in theory, oh yeah, they should. If I'm fighting against somebody in really nice armor, I'm hitting them with this side, I'm going to try to concuss them. If I'm hitting somebody with less nice armor, I'm going to punch them. I'm going to punch through it. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with fighting backwards. So I do like using hammers. The disadvantage to hammers, this is about as long as you'll ever get. You have a slightly longer design, but ostensibly a hammer, it's not that much more. But you really don't see people carrying hammers that are much longer than that. They get a little tip wieldy. I will say hammer fights, one-on-one, if we're matching weapons, so much. Because, one down. Hey, that's a great one, great hammer. Because the other thing these hammers have the advantage of, you do that. So once you gain this kind of control, it makes it harder for him to disengage. He helps with that. So there are fun tricks you can do with hammers. I suggest you ever try playing. Well, this is a game. We're not here to enjoy ourselves. Try something different. Respectfully, try something different. It will not function as well in the certain hammers like that were late period when nobody carried shields because armor was so good we didn't need a shield. They're great in tournaments. There's no disadvantage in the tournament, but in melee, you're basically reserved. Any other questions? Come on, you're thoughtful. Let me see on your face. Second, I won't embarrass you. You're looking for embarrassing. You're not.
I find it very, I like what you, sorry. Yeah, football would be, maybe that'd be interesting.
There is, actually, so Stryker was one of the people who got me into Polearm here. He and I actually used to read Polearm. Polearm was a late period, certain hammer mostly period manual that shows you about 50%, maybe 25% of the techniques they would have used in the tournament. One thing to remember about manuals, when you read period fighting manuals, is most of them are advertising. They're not meant for you to actually read it and know what you're reading or get the whole gist. It's a motivation for you to join school. So it's just enough to get your face. But tall hoppers is a period where you're wearing so much armor that tournament accounts often say 300 blows were landed. Not more, 300 blows were landed. Before somebody's armor became broken enough, they went up there. So a lot of it was tall hoppers disarm your opponent or knock him to the ground. And one of my favorite quotes still is after you hook his kneecap and push him forward and throw him to the ground. The next line is, and do with him as you will. So there's a lot of cool techniques you can do using the Vlad spike Q, as they call it, in close to do lots of tango things. I can get here, and he's going to let go if I keep going. You can tangle with weapons. Sorry, break one. I was the break president. There are techniques. One of the guys that died the night I mentioned who was going through time. His style is this. This is often called bayonet. It's often referred to as bayonet because it basically follows the Army's bayonet drills. So if you see somebody fighting like this, a lot of times they're ex-military. If you see them fighting like this, they're almost certainly ex-military. This is pugilistic. We have a big thing here, and they just close and will wallop on you. If you see somebody fighting like this, expect them to jump you and throw as hard as fast as they can. In between that is a style that I always heard referred to as knife. I'm not sure why we call it knife. Corby. Yeah, we'll fight like this.
What's his name? David.
Donovan. Yeah, but Corby was better at it than Donovan.
Yeah, but that's where.
Well, is that where they came from? Okay. So we'll fight like this. The idea being, I am blocked on all angles. As you throw anything, I'm just going to roll in with it. Bang, go lower. Bang, I'm blocking all this. I have the butt spike up here that if I get close enough, I can throw it your arm or throw it anything I want. And I can hit you from here to here, in the same blow. It's a fun little style to play with. I was never a huge fan of it because, take that stance in the show. Because the counter is this, the bayonet. Because you don't have long range thrust in that position, and I'm threatening your gut. So that can be problematic. A lot of times, if somebody's in high bayonet and you put the butt spike there, they'll lower down into more of a pugil stick form of a boxer. If you've ever been a weapon, you can do it that way too. So you don't really, I haven't actually seen anybody fight it for a long time. But it's a fun thing to play with. And it may be something that works for you or not. But the idea is I'm blocking with A, and then I'm just swinging my hips. I can butt spike out to that far, and I can hit 180 degrees on my ball. So the only comment I'll make about that though is if you do this, if you go roll like that, which is perfectly acceptable, understand you're really weak right now. It does not take much for Felix here to knock out everything, and I'm going to have to. So when I do this offside here, I do it up here. A lot less tangle and if I cross my arms going low. So I would not really recommend going offside low using that swing. I've never tried it with camera. I don't know how this would work with camera. Might be interesting, but I'm not try that. Any other questions? Quiet. Okay. I can either grab the weapon by doing that, and hooking on it. One of the perks is if I do this, what's his natural instinct? Pull back. No, pull back. Okay, we'll try to hook on hook it. Just drive it right in. It's like that, it's hook right in the face. It's a nice technique for hooking. I appreciate this side of it. One of the more primary reasons I have this is for this. I don't have to kill him now. Somebody else will. And there's very little that he can do to stop it. I can hear. I actually, Dave Dietrich, one of his happiest moments down in Gulf Wars, were replacing a line of giant guys carrying half doors, shield. I walked up to the first one, hooked the top, and just put all my body weight on it. This guy was like 6'4", so the shield was up here. Put all my body weight on it and stripped the shield straight off his arm. Dietrich was next to me with a spear, and I could hear him slide everywhere. He slaughtered the entire unit. Because once that guy fell, it was worse than we got on. So this hook is mostly for melee. I do use it sometimes in singles or Polearm. Never gets a great sword, not fast enough. If you're a Polearm fighter, remember a great sword is always faster. Even if you have an exercise Polearm, great sword will be faster. So you don't want to get into speed duels and stuff. Next question. Anybody else?
What do you use as a space?
This one actually is my leg space right now. That one is similar, usually it's a block of foam. There's a block of heavy foam, and a heavy weight foam. The reason being this is attached. There's actually a notch in the wood, a notch on this to match. So they are plenty even. So there's a lot of surface contact, and it's just tape. Not good. It's tape. But the perk is, when we went to this non-padded Polearm, we weren't allowed to use unpadded Polearm. So that would have been fine. So we weren't allowed to use unpadded. They had to have a scary appearance. So when I made this, because I'm somewhat doubling the weight on the head of the Polearm, if I throw here and really connect, I'm very close to my power set, right on my hand. So really, in tight, the farther down I hit you, the harder I'm going to hit you. The perk on this is, it's a spring.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I won't hit you as hard. And I intentionally did this to absorb some power closer to my power plant.
To not hit.
To not devastated. When these first came out, you were actually just asking me about it. There were a bunch of people who put a rattan block right here. So what happened was the farther down you got, the harder it hit. Or take it or rattan, which doesn't take.
That's what I did.
It's really hard. The other perk on this design, and I will tell you, is this is a brand new Polearm. My old Polearm lasted 15 years because the shaft doesn't get damaged. The blade gets damaged.
It's just replacement.
Make a new one. In fact, his squire was the one who finally broke my old one. But we had one, I take this thing so heavily, we had, the first one I replaced, when I cut the tape to release it, everything from here to here was powder. Like powder, no solid mass left in it, and the blade was still from the edge. So I consider that pretty constant.
I would assume there was something.
You know, generally, I think yours has a foam block in it, doesn't it? Yeah. So that one has a long piece of foam in it. That one I think has a shorter one. Yeah. And that's what I tended to do. I didn't on this one, I wanted to see how long. My concern was when I was locking the blade, you didn't want to walk side to side, and Vlad was going to start rolling. So this is kind of an experiment to see whether that is effective. Whether it walks. Anybody else?
Do you have instructions on how you created that?
I mean, no, but it's not that hard.
Got it, okay, all right.
So, I'll tell you.
I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down, when we take out this time, I'll follow when you're